Hey guys, J-Man here. All right, I want to talk about Fantastic Four, the Galactus trilogy. It's not even really a trilogy. It's a trilogy. It takes place over three comic books, half of the first issue, and then a full issue, and then it concludes. Now you know that I already did all of the Fantastic Four issues with my friend Sean and our good friend Clobberin Times, who joined us for majority of those streams. We covered all of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's collaborative issues. So it was about 102 issues numbered and then a few of the annuals, right? But those live streams are very long. They're hours, they're hangout sessions. I wanted to do something for Fantastic Four, for the Galactus trilogy, for the upcoming movie, to give you a condensed version of that. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, so please stick with me. If you like this kind of content, which is actual content, not just commentary, there's going to be content of showing the comic and commenting on it. So if you like that, please hit the like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I don't think there's enough people doing this style of content where they're actually showing you how great these comics were, not just saying they're good. This is issue 48, The Coming of Galactus. Very famous cover. Everyone knows this with the Watcher here. And if you were following my live streams on Fantastic Four, you know how important this series is. And I'm just going to cover the Galactus parts. This is concluding an Inhuman storyline, which is also fantastic. So I'm gonna just skip by this to get to where the Galactus parts. Basically, it starts here with the Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer is a very important character and very unique. A lot of characters in Marvel, you could say that, maybe they might be derivatives, but Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, especially Jack Kirby, who's just a master, created so many unique characters. And we saw this, that even when he left Marvel, he continued to create these unique characters. This is one of the few characters where he has a solo creator title for it. So it says Silver Surfer created by Jack Kirby. That's it. Not Stan Lee and Jack or Jack and Joe or whoever, right? This is a creation by Jack Kirby on his own. And we know that he probably created most of these things sort of on his own, but through the way that the Marvel method works, people would receive credit. And I don't want to get into that, but let's talk about this comic. So Silver Surfer is a very important character for me and for Jack Kirby fans. And this comic, Fantastic Four, is the flagship comic, and it is very important to Marvel. You could argue that this and Spider-Man would be your two most important, with probably like Avengers and X-Men coming in at second place. And even though I prefer X-Men to Fantastic Four in a general issue-to-issue basis, no one can deny the importance of Fantastic Four, and I've grown to love this series as much as any of those other ones, reading all of those 100 plus issues. Beautiful art here, of course. Silver Surfer searching the galaxy, the universe, for an energy source for his master, Galactus. He actually goes by the Skrull world, and the Skrulls are scared. This is a very important thing to show, to say that even the Skrulls fear Galactus. Remember, this is the first appearance of these characters, so we don't know who they are. And it's important to establish the Skrulls, who are very scary in earlier issues and really don't care about anybody, are scared themselves. So even they fear the coming of Galactus and his herald, the Silver Surfer. So things are going on in the atmosphere, and it's going to be explained later. So there's like flames, and there's going to be meteor chunks everywhere. Of course, people are panicking, wondering what's going on. At first, they even think maybe the FF is responsible, particularly Human Torch might be responsible for the flames in the sky. You see panic. No one does a panic situation like Jack Kirby. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. That is a fact. The chaos that he shows in his art is great. This like panic. There's always a guy in the forefront, the background, playing with the layers. It's amazing. They're actually getting upset at Johnny Storm here. They're actually trying to douse him with water and stuff. So obviously they're panicking. Look, it's the Hulk. No, this guy's an Incredible Hulk fan. He's got his colors. So the Fantastic Four come down. It's Clobberin time. I love it. Love when he says that. These guys are trying to beat up Johnny. I mean, they try to hit Thing, but really that's nonsense. Here's where it starts to get interesting now. So you go back to Silver Surfer, and the reason that all of this is happening is that the Watcher is going to show up, and he actually is the one causing this to Earth. But the reason he's doing it is so that Silver Surfer ignores it, because he knows that wherever the Silver Surfer goes, Galactus is to follow. Reed has been working day and night trying to figure out what to do. He's very scruffy. He hasn't had time to shower or shave. Sue is getting upset. This is still sort of in the time period where Sue could be seen as slightly annoying, but she's definitely progressing more as a character as we've gone through this series. Of course, if you do want to see her full progression and all these issues covered in full detail, please check out my live streams on the Fantastic Four. I will link my classic comic book runs playlist, which has stuff like Daredevil's, Frank Miller's Daredevil run, of course, the brilliant Jack Kirby stuff, Fourth World, Fantastic Four, lots of stuff on that playlist. Look at the Watcher. What an absolutely dynamic character. Very big. He's like a big, huge buff guy. I kind of like this version of him. And it's basically said here that he is causing these things to sort of mask Earth so that the Silver Surfer ignores it and passes it by. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. If it did happen, there wouldn't be this comic. So here comes Silver Surfer. A little bit of a minor little like meet up here with these guys. The Silver Surfer lands and immediately calls forth to Galactus. So Galactus is basically a being, and in this comic, they're saying he's like a godlike entity, really, not just like an alien being, more like a god who devours vast amount of energy. And he has these machines that he assembles around planets that have the suitable energy that he needs. So he can convert water into energy. It's basically like draining the planet of its life, its resources, and converting it. Silver Surfer is going to do something very similar later on in a smaller scale. But Surfer calls out to Galactus. Ben punches him, and he falls off the building here, but it doesn't really matter. The damage is done. Surfer is not their enemy. Galactus is their enemy, and Galactus is coming. One of the famous Kirby kind of panels where he does these very interesting collages, very surreal and kind of cool. And you're just like, whoa, that looks really neat. What's all this about? And there is Galactus, who is now on his way. The color scheme is different here. I debated whether to show you reprints of this or epic collections or digital restorations, but I've opted to go with original scans of the original comics. Really, that's, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, this is really the way to experience this. I mean, that said, I don't have this issue, and I have the reprints. So, I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm telling you, like, I don't have this comic, but I'd like to show it to you in its original form if possible. So that concludes that one. Let's get right into the next one. We're going to do all three on this video, so it's going to be a little bit longer. Very famous. If This Be Doomsday. What a fantastic cover. All your major players are shown here. Absolutely great. If This Be Doomsday. Very famous. Again, now we got the Fantastic Four. Oh my God, what's going to happen here? So now the colors are a little bit changed around slightly and to look a little bit more like what you know of Galactus. Galactus and the Watcher are now having a little bit of a scuffle here. And the Watcher can't even stop Galactus. And he isn't supposed to interfere. That's important. Galactus didn't have pants. He left his pants in his other ship. So unfortunately, he's just going with his shorts today. Very typical Kirby style, having the legs exposed. It's Clobberin time. Boom. Didn't even phase him. I love that Galactus throws this sort of stink bomb down here and is just basically like, Reed says he's like insect repellent. He sees us as nothing more than insects. Would we, in one of these panels, he questions, would you consider walking over an anthill, or would you be concerned if you stepped on some ants, right? That's how insignificant the human race is to him. Basically, nothing can stop him. Johnny attempts it. He gets fried here. He's okay, of course. So there is one weapon that can be attained from a different, like almost like a different planet, different kind of like galaxy or whatever. And of course, we all know that's the ultimate nullifier, which is going to make its appearance in the, I think it's the next issue. But only Johnny can quest for it because only he can survive the travel. The Watcher is going to help guide him. But we're going to get to that. This is something, and I'm going to spend a little bit longer on this section here, so just bear with me, as I think it's very important. This is the Silver Surfer meeting Alicia Masters. And this is why, one of the prime reasons why you cannot really change around genders in this kind of thing. I know they're adapting this into that new movie with Pedro Pascal, and they've got that lady surfer, which is Norrin Radd's wife, Shalabal, who appeared in Earth X. It's a fail, in my opinion. This relationship is key, or very key. It may not be the main point, but it is a very important point. Alicia Masters, because she's blind, she's able to sense people a bit better. She senses that there's nobility in this person. And she tries to get some of that humanity to come to the surface. Silver Surfer does not want to turn against his master, but Alicia is going to try to convince him. She gives him food. We're going to get back to this because it's important. So this is the food that we're eating, and we're going to see what happens when we come back to that scene. In the meantime, the machine is this is Galactus's machine that he's putting together in order to suck all the water, or turn the water into energy and then absorb that as his food. The Fantastic Four, up until this point, if you've watched any of my streams or if you've read these comics, they're pretty awesome. Like they can clearly handle their own. They're a sci-fi team with superhero abilities. The Fantastic Four might be one of the most unique sort of creations in the sense that they can work as superheroes because they do have superhero traits, strength and flight and all of this stuff. But they work best almost when they're using a Star Trek approach, right? Which is less action, more thinking it through. This is why Fantastic Four is so important, because you've got your Star Trek science fiction elements, sci-fi elements mixed with your superhero fantasy elements. So it really kind of makes for a unique team. This is just explaining how it works. You don't really need to know. He can drain the energy. That's fine. They basically say that whatever planet he leaves, it's just destroyed. Now, they have gone out of their way to mention in this comic that Galactus doesn't necessarily want to kill anybody. He needs to feed. So he's not mean or evil. He's just above that. It's like, I am what I am. I have to feed, and I just continue on. So he does go for planets that don't have any intelligent life on them, but he's obviously not opposed to sucking it dry, even if there is intelligent life. Silver Surfer, again, back to Alicia with Silver Surfer, great stuff here. So he says there's a lot of waste. He looks around, he's like, these sculptures, these paintings, this is all waste. Look at this food, you waste it. And he converts the plates, the food inside on the plates, the liquid in the cups themselves, he converts it all into energy and absorbs it. He's like, this is a much easier and a more efficient way to do this. And Alicia is like, no, but the humanity, and you're going to let humans die. And she begs to him and talks to him about it. I would, if I was a better reader or a better actor or voice actor, I would read this out to you. It's absolutely genius. You got to read these pages. Please grab these comics. Grab the reprints. There's a brand new reprint that just came out. It's like $20. It's probably like 15 on Amazon.com. And it collects these 3 issues and John Byrne's 3 issues, which let me know in the comments. Do you want me to go through those? Let me know. And just a reminder, if you do like this content, please hit the like and consider subscribing. Okay. What what are they going to do? They're getting completely messed up. The machine stops working, so Galactus is like, "Why? What's going on?" Ben Grimm is just breaking his machine apart. Galactus basically says, "You can break it apart, but I'm going to assemble it again. You're not going to be able to actually stop me." They try. Reed hits him with a ball here. Galactus is falling, but he actually can float. So it's great because Reed is concerned that people might get crushed when Galactus falls, but Galactus can fly or at least float or stop his descent. In the previous issue, when Ben Grimm punched out Silver Surfer, he was actually concerned that he killed him, and he actually felt bad for a second, which is interesting. Okay, so because the Fantastic Four are posing a problem like pests, Galactus calls his little like watchdog almost, and this character is called the Punisher. No, it's not Frank Castle. It is a robot, humanoid, living organism, something hybrid-ish thing. It's another Jack Kirby creation that's very weird, and it is kind of cool. This is not good. I don't think this is going to be in the movie, but anyways, this guy's going to fight, so we'll get to that. So here's where the Watcher is going to get Johnny to go on his quest and send him off into the far reaches of space to retrieve the ultimate nullifier. We're going to come back to that. So Johnny he's the only one who can navigate all of this stuff. It's beautifully written too. Look at this amazing complex here, this space station or whatever it is. So cool. More Kirby machines designs. It's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic Four. Get back to that. This is a little fight here with this little bitty guy, Punisher, but he's pretty tough. They just beat the crap out of each other. Basically, he's just here to keep them busy. It doesn't matter who wins or loses this fight because Galactus doesn't care. So they have a fight. Invisible Girl makes her force field. She has her force field powers by this point in the comics. He can't break through. It doesn't really matter. The machine's getting repaired. It's over. But we cut back to, again, this sort of like mix, this sort of monkey wrench or whatever it is. Like Surfer is gonna get convinced, and he's gonna turn against Galactus. Now we haven't seen Surfer's powers fully yet. We know he's pretty tough. We haven't seen his powers fully yet, and the Watcher is almost thinking, "Oh no! Like this is something I didn't foresee. This might be something that screws my plans up." Because really, Johnny needs to get the ultimate nullifier, and that might be enough. But now it's Surfer in the mix. Who knows what's going to happen? Well, let's take a look at Fantastic Four issue 50. Beautiful cover, famous, absolutely a famous cover. The Startling Saga of the Silver Surfer, and we're not going to read Human Torch Going to College. We're going to stop there. Okay, here we go, guys. We got the Silver Surfer coming to challenge Galactus. Absolutely brilliant. This is a great battle. It's actually like Galactus is actually saddened that he has to fight Surfer because they've sort of grown to like each other. Surfer doesn't even want to fight him, but he says, "I cannot allow you to destroy the humans." Surfer has found beauty, and that is in the form of Alicia Masters. But I don't think he meant just physical beauty, just the beauty of her soul, of her humanity. This is what's so important in this story. This is why the Silver Surfer became a very popular character too. There's this sense that he has these things in him, but they're so buried, he needs to unlock them, and he's just been a dead vessel. He's just been, a machine that has been working for Galactus, and now he's becoming himself. He's becoming his true self. He's beautiful on the outside with his shiny look, but he's beautiful on the inside, and Alicia is unlocking this. This is why I'm fundamentally against this whole entire movie of changing around the genders and swapping around the story and making it something else. This is a very interesting and cool story. Surfer uses all of his powers and sort of encases Galactus. That's not going to last. Ben touches it. I don't know why. Galactus breaks free. This fight is basically a standstill. I mean, Galactus can probably just kill Surfer anytime he really wants to. Galactus isn't evil. You got to remember that as well. Keep that in the back of your mind. He's just feeding. Like, are you evil if a spider's in your house or a fly enters and you swat the fly? Are you an evil person? Right? This is his level of thinking. Right? Now, if you knew that the flies were intelligent beings who had art and culture, would you be so easy to swat them? You know what I mean? Like that. This is where we're playing with right now, because now Surfer is saying, look, they're not just a bunch of insects like what you're saying, but Galactus is like, it is what it is, right? They're trying to figure out what they can do. Johnny is still on his quest here. Again, we cut back to him going through. So Reed, Ben, and Sue are sort of like trapped, just watching this almost unfold. They don't have any bargaining chips right now, but they're gonna get something in a minute, which is the ultimate nullifier. So Johnny returns back, and he's got the ultimate nullifier, but he's spent. He's dead. He doesn't know what to do with it. So Reed is really the only guy who's smart enough to be able to even figure out what to do. But you gotta be careful, because this ultimate nullifier can literally just destroy everything. So the Watcher interfered, but not that bad, because he kind of like Johnny did it, right? So it's a bit questionable. In my opinion, the Watcher interfered to save us. That's my opinion. Leave your opinion in the comments below. But again, more battling here, and the way that it's going to stop. Oh yes, Galactus tries to attack like humanity. He's like, okay, well, I'll start attacking the humans, and then Surfer's preventing that, of course. But again, this is all action now. Here we go. Reed figures out how to work the nullifier. He like stretches out. He goes, look, Galactus, I can end you right now. And Galactus is like, okay, fine. He's like, I'll give up. Give me the ultimate nullifier back. You don't know what you're doing with it, and I'll leave you alone. And Watcher says his word can never be questioned. So Galactus is still an honorable being. He is a god. However, he does take away Surfer's ability to go through space, which is really sad, and he leaves. That's the conclusion. I want to cover a couple more pages before I let you guys go. I know this video is long, and thank you. If you've been watching up till now, thank you. I appreciate it. But this is important, okay? This conclusion here is very important. It's going to lead into the next story, which is a great story, This Man, This Monster, but we're not going to cover that on this video. Please go to my live streams, and you can check out our full coverage there. But Alicia doesn't know that Ben is here, and Silver Surfer's there, and he goes to her, and she's like, oh, I knew there was humanity in you. And Ben seems to think, oh no, she likes him, which is not the case, because once Ben walks away, she praises how great he was. And Silver Surfer, unfortunately, needs to go to the stars. Look how amazing he is right here. This is just amazing. I might cover the Silver Surfer's own comic, Volume 1. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover that on some videos. He flies off, and he's got to find his way now. He's got to figure out what to do with his life. That's pretty much it right there. So we're going to end it off with that. I want to thank all you guys who have watched this far. It's been over 20 minutes, so thank you. I know it's a longer video, but I felt this was an important story to cover. So please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. If you like this video, please remember to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I want to show people content. I want to give you things that you can take away and say, that was really cool going through that comic. Now I understand Fantastic Four a little bit more. Hopefully you see this before you go see the movie, so you have a foundation on which to judge the movie. Remember, the people making these films have access to this just like anybody else. What are they taking from it, and what are they presenting to you, right? That's what you got to look for, okay? This isn't my take. This isn't the J-Man take on this story. This is the story. So that's it, guys. Thanks for everyone, to everyone who watched. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.